This morning on New Year, New You, online classes from nursing to business to education, more and more Americans are hitting the digital books. So what can an internet education do for you? Well, Sally Lee is the editor-in-chief of Ladies' Home Journal, which covers this topic in its February issue. Sally, good morning.
Good morning.
The stats I'm looking at say that about 12 million students in 2008 were online. There's an increase of 10% annually. Why did you decide, Ladies' Home Journal, to tackle this issue?
Because it's something that our readers are very interested in. Everybody's interested in enhancing their qualifications, especially in this economy. And online education is a great option for women, especially women who are raising their families and can't go to school full-time.
It can increase your flexibility, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to save money.
No, it's about the same cost as a general bricks-and-mortar institution, but you'll save money on transportation, of course, and those other issues. And there's a lot of books and texts online that you can access.
And are the degrees that you would get from these classes, would they be equal to those degrees that you may get from a bricks-and-mortar school?
Yes, they would. It used to be that people would look down on online degrees, but it's become so mainstream, and so many bricks-and-mortar institutions are offering them that now they've become very accepted by employers. And actually, some employers, Jack Welch has said that he actually likes people who have online degrees, because if you can go to work during the day and come home and go to school at night, it shows you have a lot of motivation and drive.
And so what kind of things can you learn online? So there you are, you've got a job already, maybe a part-time job, a full-time job, maybe you're a mother, you're very busy, and you want to think about what the options are. What can you tell us about that? Well,
there are so many options on every level. The most common classes that are taken right now are still the MBA, so business courses, and a lot of nurses go back to school online to enhance their degrees. They'll go to get a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. But you can do everything. You can take a language course, you can learn about supply chain and demand. You don't really have to do a degree. There's lots of other options, a lot of free options. You go to iTunes University, there's a lot of 75,000 lectures there, and we've listed some of those in Ladies' Home Journal, so people could take a look and see what they can get for free.
But you know, studying alone or learning by yourself with a computer might seem daunting to people who are used to being in a classroom setting. So if you have questions or problems, can you direct them at someone? Is there a kind of interaction that's possible even in online classes?
I think it's really important to point out that it is difficult and it is very different. You have to be very self-motivated and very self-disciplined, and actually the dropout rates for online are a little higher than normal because it is so tough. So you want to really get into a situation where you have a lot of interaction with your classmates and with your professor. So it's not just passive learning. You have lots of opportunities to interact.
Okay, so let's talk about, however, what you need to make sure. You need to make sure that the program is accredited. How do you do that exactly?
That's hugely important, to make sure the program is accredited. You can actually go online. There's a website called geteducated.com. That's a pretty good review. You can go to the Princeton Review of Colleges. A lot of those mainstream books will review online courses. And just make sure it's accredited by the Department of Education or the Council of Higher Learning.
And you need to also double-check the educational tools that are being offered. Like, what are the kind of things that we would need to evaluate?
Well, there are a lot of different tools, and it depends what kind of learner you are. So, you know, the streaming video, there are podcasts, there are blogs, but the most important thing to stress again is this interaction with your peers in the classes and with your professors, because without that, you're not going to have that motivation to continue.
And you really want people to look for community options.
Community is really important. It's also a fabulous opportunity to meet a really diverse group of people. A lot of the people who are studying online are from different countries, obviously from different states.
So what do? You make sure that the accredited program has an option to create a community online? Is that what you're doing?
Yes,
make sure that they have
and
that.
most of the ones, the real ones do, and obviously a lot of the ones that are already associated with brick-and-mortar institutions are going to be good.
And you want to also make sure that you're honest with yourself about your learning needs so that you don't get yourself into something that may not work.
Yes,
Sally Lee,
it is tough.
Thank you so much this morning
Thank you so much
for being here to help us with all of this, and good luck with the article in your magazine.